How's your day going?
So far, so good. Yeah, it's been pretty busy, but no complaints. How about you?
Today's actually pretty chill here today.
Okay.
Considering how busy it typically is.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm used to getting about 15 calls at least in this district, which isn't too bad considering all town.
On days when it's raining, do you find that you have more issues or people move slow?
I have more calls when it's raining. Obviously, there's more people hanging out on buildings and under awnings and stuff like that. But I don't think I really have issues with people. It might be because when I approach people, I feel like females come off a little less aggressive looking.
A little less intimidating?
Yeah, I don't really have issues with people listening and use the resources they got. People love cigarettes, so I tell people I like to give something when something,
Absolutely. Are you a coffee drinker?
Yes.
All right,
I get a coffee every day and they know exactly what I ordered.
Let's grab a coffee. I'll have you order me an iced green tea with no additives to go along with whatever it is you're getting.
You don't want any?
I just want our tea.
Oh, I'm good. A large green tea with no additives to it. And then, my usual. Take my usual. Okay.
You have a usual?
Yes.
What is it?
What is it? Torture. Extra sweet sauce. There we go.
What is it?
It's a double torture with a little extra sweetener.
Double
some soft top on
torture?
it.
What the heck is that?
It's like a vanilla mocha with 2 extra shots.
Okay. Get the heart rate up. I say get the heart rate up.
Yeah. Love my distraction. For ya.
Thank you. Officer 746. Hey, thanks for taking the time to sit down with me. So, how long have you been working for Echelon?
2 years.
And what did you do before working for Echelon? Have you worked any other security jobs or any law enforcement?
Yeah, I've done quite a range. The first actual experience that I had in anything like this, I was a correctional officer.
For a county or state?
For the state.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I worked at the only female prison in Oregon.
What was that like?
It wasn't my favorite. I wanted to be a counselor, but you have to be a CO for a year, and I couldn't even make it my year. I very much did not like it in any sense.
Really? I worked county corrections for a year, and then I went state. And I absolutely, when I got to the state level, I didn't like it either. I have my own personal reasons. Like, what was it that you didn't like about it?
I didn't agree with the way COs treated prisoners. I know they did bad things. There's a lot of them that did bad things, but there was a lot of them in there that deserved help. And just the website did not, the positions didn't meet my expectations of what I think is morally and ethically correct.
Yeah.
They're already in there, they're already doing their time, and acting bitter and angry. It's just going to take time to get off of your life and off of your happiness. So I went in there with a smile on my face every day, trying to do what I could to make people happy for the ones that were actually trying, wanted to get out.
Surprise! They haven't called as much.
What do you mean by we got it back?
They dropped us and then they noticed how much of a difference it was having us, so.
The uptick in activity. Hey, you had said something earlier about being petite. How tall are you?
I'm 4'11", and I'm 120 pounds.
4'11". So, what's your experience working out here on the street? You know, you're a female. Um, you're a smaller female in terms of stature. Like, how do you handle yourself out here? I mean, this is a pretty dangerous area.
I think it's all about how you carry yourself. If you walk up to people and you act like someone's going to punch you in the face, they're going to think that they can punch you in the face. Same way I carried myself in corrections. I joked around with them all the time and just had a good time, and it was easier that way. And
So you've never had a situation where you felt like you were in danger, or
oh, absolutely. My first week, I had a gun pointed at my face.
really? How
There
did
was
you?
a DV case. She was drunk. It wasn't directly at me, but she was waving around, highly intoxicated, and I had a feeling at the time there was a lot I could have learned, and how I'd handle it differently. But at the time, I just talked to her and said, you should let me handle the situation and put the gun down, and she did.
You were
So-
very lucky.
I would say so, yes.
So a dispatch just came in for one of the properties that's in your district. What's going on over there?
Let's see. There's a man out front in a black raincoat with a brownish dog that they just kicked out of the building. He is trespassing and would like him to be off the property.
All right.
We're gonna go take a look. One of the areas I mostly get calls for is the Morrison, mostly for trespassed individuals.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that'll stay with friends and family, or even just sleep in the stairs. Got foggy for tonight.
So when you get a dispatch, regardless of what it is, like, are you preparing yourself? Like, are you thinking of anything as you're driving over there? Like, what's going through your mind as you're approaching your call?
I feel like this is a pretty standard call for me, so I don't really have any thought about it. Honestly, most things, when things don't go the way I plan them, it actually catches me by surprise, because 98% of the time, it's basically always the same. Somebody's loitering, somebody's hanging out where they're not supposed to, and I kind of just use my words to get them to leave. I typically don't have to call for an additional. Most of the time I usually have to call for an additional because they look at me thinking I can't do anything. So I don't get paid enough to touch somebody on my own, so I call someone like Aaron, and then they change their ways.
Yeah, big 6'7" Aaron shows up.
Yeah.
Everybody automatically finds some act right.
Yeah.
It looks like the individual has left. They have an unsecured door. All right, if you need anything else, Nicole, let me know.
Does that happen a lot where you go to a location and the dispatch call has already kind of handled itself?
Specifically for this location, some locations more than others are like that. They typically call about people being outside just before they even come inside. So a lot of the times I just take a photo and say the individual has left. I always meet with the property management. Thankfully, that's you know, an upper hand that I have during the days is that I can just go talk to them. So it helps out a lot.
You never know what your day is going to be like. You know, if you're in Old Town, you know, every day you're going to have a bunch of calls. In this district, you can either have a very chill day where you can go and talk to every single property manager and every single client and, you know, do as much as you can for all the properties. And then there's some days where you get 15, 20 dispatches and you can barely get mandatories done. You got to bring some support to get them finished. So it's you never know what you're going to get being in this